Goodbye, crappy Airbnb. We're leaving L.A.
LA?
We're leaving L.A. and we're going up there. So that's where we're going. Well guys, we are here at Snow Summit Mountain Bike Park. This is the last day that this park is open, so it is really busy, but I'm excited nonetheless. I'm gonna strap the GoPro to my chest, bring you guys along, and we're gonna talk about a few things. For instance, I sold the Rally Miata. So my original plan for this video was to kind of do a moto vlog, but with biking. So I was gonna talk about selling the Rally Miata and a few other things while I was at this bike park. Now, I think I was a bit of a hopeful thinking because being at a downhill bike park, especially when you're kind of a novice like me, it requires all of your attention. You can't be talking, focusing about what you wanna say as you go over jumps and are going like 30 miles an hour down a mountain. It's not gonna work. And as you'll see, I biff it a couple times, even though I'm not talking. So I'm gonna overlay the biking footage just to entertain you guys while I talk about selling the Rally Miata and a few other things. Now I know on the face of it, I think a lot of you guys are probably gonna be disappointed that I sold the Rally Miata and that you're no longer going to see it in videos. But let me explain and let me tell you why you should actually be excited. Blue steel. Okay. Have fun. Thank you. You too. Have a good one. Blue steel, baby. Intermediate. Let's go. And for that explanation, I have to start by explaining something that over the past couple of years, I've come to realize is a fatal flaw in the way I make videos and the way I plan out content. What is that flaw? That flaw is that I get sentimentally attached to my vehicles and I don't know when to call it quits. As a private person, I don't think getting sentimentally attached to your vehicles is a bad thing. In fact, I think it's a good thing. It makes vehicle ownership more enjoyable. You feel like that car is part of your history, and because of that, you enjoy driving the car more. But as a content creator, I think it's held me back. And I say this because there's a point in every single build which I think that build should essentially be over. Except for very few exceptions like Molly. Molly was my very first car, I got it in high school. That one I don't think ever has to end. I could also extend that to like Adam LZ's Cream 240 or all these other iconic cars from each YouTuber. But the Rally Miata wasn't one of those cars. Now, when I thought about the Rally Miata, when I envisioned the build, I imagined an all-wheel drive, Subaru-powered Miata ripping down a stage rally, going over jumps, hitting the limb, or drifting around a corner, near misses with trees. I imagined all those things, and I thought it would be awesome. And so without doing any research, which is another one of my fatal flaws, I built the car. I mean, obviously, there's more to it than that, but I built the car, and I wanted to do stage rally with it. Now, little did I know, stage rally has very strict rules, and you can't just compete with a tube chassis car that has a Frankenstein, probably unsafe cage and all sorts of stuff. The Rally Miata was never gonna be able to compete in a stage rally. Now, when I discovered that after I finished the build, we did some rallycross videos. Problem about rallycross, it is not that iconic, awesome footage that you imagine when you think of rally. Instead of ripping down a stage rally at high speeds, you're going through a grass field avoiding cones. I think the fun part about doing a build is, building the car, experiencing the first start, experiencing the first drive, the first dyno session. And then if you build it for a type of racing, like the drift truck for drifting, you do that event and you get better and better at it and you modify the car to make it better at said event. Well, with the Rally Miata, after Rallycross was kind of a fail, I couldn't do that. And so I started driving the Rally Miata more on the street and I started modifying it to make it more just a nice car to drive on the street, which essentially is making it more boring, you know, making it quieter, making it smoother, making it more, you know, comfortable. All these things are essentially making it less cool for videos. And I made content on doing that. And so that, I think, was a big mistake. I think once I moved, or even once I discovered the rallycross videos weren't doing very well, I should have sold the car. Now, admittedly, another reason why I sold the Rally Miata was because I needed money. Now, I did want to take a moment from the biking and the talking to talk about this video's sponsor, BetterHelp. Listen, mental health is not something that is talked about a lot for men. It's getting more popular, but it's not as appreciated as it should be. And I've learned, especially over the past couple of years, and especially doing YouTube, that mental health is important, and it's a challenge. You know, I personally very much struggle with mental health, especially recently, especially since the Eclipse has burnt down. Like building that entire car just to see it burn down and never get enjoyed by anybody, all that time I wasted on it, and then just in general videos, like spending a week putting my heart and soul into a video just for it not to do well. It's tough, and that is where therapy and talking to a professional can really help, and that is what BetterHelp makes easier. BetterHelp is a website that connects you to a licensed therapist that is trained to listen to you and give you unbiased advice about your life. Obviously, one of the hardest parts about therapy is actually getting out there and doing it. You know, finding a therapist, going to their practice. With BetterHelp, you don't have to go out, do research, find all these people. They have over 30,000 therapists in their network, which gives you a broad range of people to work with. You know, if you don't like one therapist, you can try out another. Another awesome thing about BetterHelp is that you have different options for therapy. You can do video chats, you can do phone calls, you can even just do messages if that is what you're most comfortable with. And in addition to that, you'll be able to schedule your sessions for a time that is convenient for you. So if any of you think you might benefit from therapy, consider BetterHelp. You guys can click the link in the description or in the cards, or visit betterhelp.com/Gingium. When you get there, you'll fill out a questionnaire to help assess your personal needs, and then you will get matched with a therapist. In most cases, in 48 hours or less. Now, clicking that link helps support this channel, but it also gives you guys 10% off your first month of BetterHelp, so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. Anyway, I needed money for this trip that you guys have seen videos on. If you follow me on Instagram and have picked up on the context clues in the last couple of videos, you know that I went on This First That, the Hoonigan show. That was the whole reason for this trip. We drove the Volvo all the way out to California to do that. Now, I can't tell you what I raced or whether or not I won or not, but you guys will find out soon. And as soon as Hoonigan posts the episode, I have a really special episode about the Volvo and about some history I have with it coming out. So get excited for that. It's a really awesome video. But yeah, obviously being on This First That, it's a huge opportunity for the channel. Now, I will say, besides the This First That thing, I'm kind of disappointed on how the videos have gone on this trip. They've all been performing pretty terribly. And I think it's probably because you know, the Volvo is nearing its expiration date as well. We've gone 10s with it, we've done awesome collaborations with it, but I might want to try to go 9s with it. So let me know, what do you guys think? Would you like to see a little bit more videos on the Volvo, it going 9s, maybe racing a couple other YouTubers? You know, a certain Boosted Boy has a fast minivan. You know, minivans are worse than wagons, so maybe I should prove that. Let me know in the comment sections below. And so those are all the reasons why I ended up selling the Rally Miata. Part of me is certainly sad because I was sentimentally attached to the car, and it was, you know, an iconic part of this channel. It's what kind of made my channel explode right at the very beginning when I first lifted it. To date, that was still my most successful series. Now, the reason why you guys should get excited is because due to this Rally Miata situation and due to a couple other things, I'm really going to try to start focusing on treating YouTube as a business. I think I've been treating it a little bit too much as a hobby. You know, I come here and I work on what I love, which is awesome, but it leads to sometimes the videos not super compelling. You know, like sometimes I come here and I just have to do this project. You know, it could be something as boring as like making cup holders for a Rally Miata. That's not compelling content, it's not good content. I know a lot of you guys still enjoy it, but it's not helping grow this channel. And so I've realized that, and I'm really going to try to put a lot of effort into making compelling content from here on out, especially once the truck is done. The next things up on the channel are finishing the drift truck, getting that drifting, getting that looking nice, getting it ripping. After that, we have the upgraded ignition system for Molly so we can max out the turbo. We also have a freaking awesome new fuel system coming for that. And then after that, I'm going to turbocharge the Honda Fit. I kind of teased that a little bit, but we're gonna be using Molly's old turbo to turbo the Fit. Nothing crazy, not going for 200 wheel horsepower, just to make it a little bit faster and make it go and I'm really excited for that content. I also have a couple ideas of, awesome builds, but a little bit quicker builds. I love the drift truck. I love the mid-engine Eclipse, but both those projects have taken almost an entire year because they're really in-depth and complicated. An engine swap, a suspension swap, geometry changes, a cage, exterior work, interior work, literally everything on the car has been touched. And with those long builds, I think people get bored, rightfully so. Even I get bored, okay? It's hard to stay motivated through a long build like that. I'm not saying we're not ever going to do a long build in the future, but some shorter builds, some more exciting builds, some more relatable builds. Because some people complain that the truck isn't relatable, which I kind of disagree with because, to be honest, I learned fabrication just by trying it in my garage. I mean, you guys have been along the way for me learning fabrication. I had no special skills going into it. I just tried it and failed and learned. Tried it and failed and learned. And did that over and over again until I had the skills to build the truck. So there's less people at this part. Try hitting Miracle Mile. Feel like I'm good. Famous last words. Feel like I'm good enough. Let's do it. See, this is the type of shit I'm looking for. Almost bitched on the first one. Yep, that's it. All good, bro. Stay out of the way. Don't do that. That's funny. That was a slow fall. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I definitely bit off more than I could chew. Christ. God damn it. Sorry. Yeah, I'm totally good. See, yeah, that's how you have to rip these trails. Holy shit. All right. Well, at least I know. The truck is mostly just fabrication. All the parts on it, sure, like the angle kit's kind of fancy, the supercharger kit's kind of fancy, the tran's fancy, but you could do it all with cheaper parts. You could do stock suspension, stock style transmission, and the result would be almost as good. All you need to do is have some metal and have some skills. So to me, I think it's the most relatable build possible, but you know what, that's all right, that's all right. Another piece of news that I have is, unfortunately, cameraman Kurt is leaving the Gingium YouTube channel. I've thoroughly enjoyed working with him over the past year and a half, and I think you guys can agree the videos have significantly improved in quality with him joining, but he's on to doing bigger and better things with his own life, which I can totally respect. I'm hoping he's still gonna be making videos on his own channel, so you can follow him if you want. But with that being said, I'm gonna be at some point hiring a new person. So if you're interested, I'll have contact stuff in the description if you're local in the Georgia area. There will probably be a period of time where it's just me working on the truck alone, back to tripod videos like OG Gingium days, because I have an event in the truck. I have to get the truck done for that event, and I don't have time to kind of go through the process of hiring a new person. But after that, I definitely want to get a new cameraman. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna try this little, I wouldn't consider it a pump track. It's actually, they run it as a race. There's two tracks side by side, and you're supposed to race down it, but they're not actually doing the races today. But I figured take a little rip down it. Oh, it looks kind of scary, actually. It's scary fun, though. Like, this is fucking awesome, bro. Holy shit, you get going fast. Oh my God. Oh, you go real fast. I can see why this is like a pretty intense race here. right, here's the big boy. Made it up. Okay. I need some speed for this. I know. Oh, I'm not making that up. I made it. That was a little scary. Oh, that's fun. I'm very excited, but also a little nervous, a little anxious about the next couple of months, you know, with the channel. Kurt leaving is a big change. Finishing truck's gonna be a big change. Yeah, ever since the Eclipse crash, I felt like I've been kind of in a hole, trying to dig myself out, trying to get caught up on everything. And I think once the truck is done, I'll be out of the hole. And I think a lot of good things are coming for the channel. I'm excited to see this first stat video. I hope you guys are too. And I'm excited for you to see my version of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video yet again. In the next video, we have to make the 2,500 mile journey home. And we're actually taking a detour, so it's probably more like 3,000 miles. Hopefully the Volvo gets home without any issue, but we shall see. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to watch the next video ahead of schedule, you can click up there, become a patron. The support means the world. Peace out.